Today we are going to discuss the another point from clinical examination of motor system. In the previous video, we have discussed about the examination of muscle power. Today we are going to discuss about examination of muscle tone. So here first we will try and understand what is the meaning of tone. Muscle tone is nothing but the resistance which is present in any muscle or in any group of muscles. The resistance which is offered by that particular muscle or by that particular group of muscles. So, say for example, right now you are holding your mobile in your hands, you are lying down on your bed, maybe you are sitting on a chair, maybe you are sitting on a commode, maybe you are sitting on a couch, you are seeing the television, or you are also doing some other work along with watching this video. You all are able to maintain your particular position at this moment because your muscles are offering certain resistance to various forces besides you. That means as your muscles are offering the resistance to the gravitational force, you are not falling down. The mobile is not falling down from your hands. You are not sliding down into the chair. So as long as this resistance is maintained, so the desired position is maintained, will be termed as normal muscle tone. If suppose this resistance gets reduced, you will be unable to perform a particular motion or to maintain a particular position. Understood? About the resistance offered by the muscles, it is muscle tone. So whenever the muscle tone increases, that means whenever such resistance is increased, it is termed as hypertonia. Whereas when the resistance is reduced, it is named as hypotonia. We say that this particular muscle is hypertonic, whereas this particular muscle is now hypotonic. To understand this very well, I will give you an example of a newborn baby. A day 1 baby, a baby who has just born, a day 1 baby will be unable to hold his neck, will be unable to move from back to the abdomen, will be unable to crawl. All of these are the developmental milestones. So why he is unable to perform all these activities or to maintain a particular position at this age? Why? This is because the muscle tone is not developed in that baby. Say for example, a baby who is 3 months old will be able to hold his neck. Till 3 months he won't be able to hold the neck in a steady position. Why? Because the muscles which are responsible for maintaining the position of the head are not properly developed. Not properly developed means the strength and the resistance has not developed in these muscles which are responsible for holding the neck. Similarly, a baby who is 6 months old will be able to turn from the back to the abdomen and from abdomen to the back. Why? Because the muscles which are responsible for these movements have got the strength, have received the resistance, and now the baby is able to perform that particular movement and is able to maintain that particular movement. When a baby turns 1 year old, he is able to crawl. Why? Because these muscles are now developing their tone. When the baby turns 2 year old, he will be able to walk, he will be able to run. Okay, so I hope you are getting this development of muscle tone. So as the muscle tone develops, then the baby will be able to perform a particular movement or he will be able to maintain a particular position. So if this muscle tone is improperly developed, if it is maldeveloped, it will result into hypotonia. If this muscle tone is more than what is required, if the resistance is more, it will be termed as hypertonia. Now what are the factors on which the development of this muscle tone depends upon the most important factor which is responsible for the development of muscle tone is nutrition. The nutrients that the baby is receiving, is getting, is highly responsible for development of the muscle tone. If the baby is malnourished, definitely he is going to be suffering from hypotonia. If the baby is having some infections since childhood, say for example tetanus infection, the commonest example that we see or we can discuss. In tetanus, we know the typical position of a patient who is having or who is suffering from severe tetanus, opisthyotonous position. What happens in opisthyotonous position? All the muscles are severely contracted. The tension in all the muscles increases, and that is why the body turns into arch-like shape. Okay, so that is opisthyotonous position of tetanus. So that is what I want to say. Even if the muscle tone increases or even if the muscle tone decreases, it affects the posturing of the body. So let us first try to understand the different types of increase or decrease in muscle tone. It is broadly classified into two types. If the muscle tone is increased, it is hypertonia, and if the muscle tone is decreased, it is hypotonia. Hypertonia is further classified into two types: lead pipe rigidity and cog wheel rigidity. Okay, so now let us discuss what is lead pipe rigidity. Lead pipe rigidity. So the name itself suggests lead pipe rigidity. The affected limb or that affected muscle will be resembling like that of a pipe, and that too the pipe which is made up of lead or some metal. This rigidity is also termed as plastic rigidity. Now what happens in this type of rigidity, lead pipe rigidity? All the muscles, that means say for example the upper extremity is affected, so the bicep muscle as well as the antagonist, that is the tricep muscle, the pronators as well as the supinators, both the ergonists and antagonist muscles are having severe resistance, are offering severe resistance to any movement. So in cases of lead pipe rigidity, both the ergonist and antagonist muscles are having or are in a position of severe resistance. So that is why the affected limb will become completely immobile like this. Any movement, active or passive movement, active movement or passive movement will be unable in cases of lead pipe rigidity. So that is why the name is there, lead and pipe. The limbs becomes just like that of a lead pipe. The second type of hypertonia is cog wheel rigidity. Now what is the meaning of cog wheel rigidity? In cases of cog wheel, the ergonist and antagonist muscle offer resistance alternatively. They offer resistance repeatedly but in succession. They are not maintaining the resistance at the same moment. Okay, so if this thing is present, then it will be termed as cog wheel rigidity. And when coming to hypotonia, hypotonia means flaccidity. Flaccidity, flaccidity. The affected limb becomes pendulum-like. Okay, it hangs and it do not offers any resistance. Okay, So this is flaccidity. Whenever there is hypotonia, it is flaccidity. Now let us discuss what are the causes for hypertonia and what are the causes for hypotonia. The important cause for lead pipe and cogwheel rigidity are extrapyramidal diseases. Extrapyramidal diseases. Whereas the important cause for hypotonia are some cerebellar diseases, cerebral diseases, or severe trauma to the spinal cord. So these are the important causes for hypotonia. Apart from these causes, like extrapyramidal diseases, the rigidity or hypertonia can also be seen in certain infectious conditions, like just I have said. In tetanus, you will see opisthotronous posturing, typical of tetanus infection. Secondarily, the Japanese encephalitis viral infection, which results into a typical decerebrate or decorticate posturing. The muscles become so stiff that the body adopts a particular posture. What happens in decerebrate posturing? The neck will be extended like this, the arms will be besides the body, the wrists joint will be extended, the foot will be dropped, and there will be severe tension. So this will be the posture adopted by that particular patient who is suffering from Japanese encephalitis viral infection. What happens in decorticate posturing? The patient will be keeping his hand like this on the chest, the neck will be extended. One leg is turned inside, inwards. Okay. So this is decorticate posturing. So that is how the muscle tone affects the posture of the body. So if you are examining any patient, if you go to examine any patient and you are looking that the patient is, or if you come to notice that the patient is maintaining a particular position, so this posture or this position will give you the diagnosis or will help you to make the diagnosis. So here we will finish muscle tone. In next video we will discuss about the muscular wasting and certain abnormal movements. Thank you.